Okay, guys, well, so remember when you were, well, I guess you were all in New York, and I don't know where your final was, but it was nerve-wracking to be here, right? And so it's nice to see everyone a little chilled out a year later. I got to chat with you all a bit about the topic of collaboration, and also just a bit about where you've been for the last year. So let's hear quickly, and you can just jump in where you see fit. What did Chivas Venture do for you? What did it look like to get back on that plane, go home, and where did the work start from there? What's happened in the last year or 2 years? Go for it.
I get started. Well, for us, I think it's been like a total transformation. I feel like we were a worm, and now we're starting to be a butterfly with wings. It's been a year where we've transformed our business model. We've opened new tools, new channels to be able to bring the bracelets to the world and generate more jobs in Guatemala.
And how did the venture help that? How did Chivas Venture?
I think in every way. I think social entrepreneurship in my country doesn't mean much, but when you have a big brand behind it, for the first time, people were starting to pay attention to us. We were able to bring investment afterward. And what I love was that the women in Guatemala, for the first time, had a voice, a strong voice in saying what they needed. So I think for us, it's open channels. It's really making us believe that it is possible to pursue this dream of like we heard before, creating jobs with people that, society sometimes thinks they can't do it, and they can. All they need is an opportunity. So everything's changed, the branding, the communication, and new online page with fulfillment from the US. So, and the people that we've met, I think really that's one of the best things to be with people who have the similar dreams, and together we say we can do it.
Fabulous. Have any of you connected, between now and then?
Yeah, we spoke once or twice. I met Kenny for dinner. Yeah, we had some.
Great.
How about he answered?
Yeah.
I have tried to contact Kenny maybe 20 times now.
So the rest are into collaboration. Kenny?
Collaboration, but I think collaboration's, I guess, at the heart of everything that WeFarm's trying to do. Is we heard that stat earlier from Lila about $1 trillion of international aid and development money, and for me personally, I think one of the reasons that hasn't worked is because we tend to look at this in a really top-down way, and a lot of the information and training that's gone to developing countries has really been we know what poor people need, and we're just going to tell them. And a huge amount of what we're trying to do with the model at WeFarm is say, well, actually, that's not true. People may be poor, but they've got a lot of knowledge, they've got a lot of skills, as Lila was talking about. And how do we get people to collaborate on a massive worldwide scale, even if they don't necessarily have the digital tools to do so? Since the venture a year ago, we've managed to scale massively. We're on the verge of having our 250,000th user sign up to WeFarm. So we're hopefully things are going pretty well, and I think I'd agree with what Maria is saying, that it's about the platform that this gives you, and I think it's exciting for everyone to go home. And one of the things that we did was when we got off the plane was think, well, actually we've had this amazing experience. Now how do we channel that into something that really lasts and we take advantage of it? For us, I think one of the big things was maybe hiring. We're all out there trying to get the best talent and probably paying a lot less. It's probably an issue for everybody in the room, I guess. Paying a lot less than the company down the road, and how do you use opportunities like this and the videos that have been made to get people to come and work for you? And I think that was pretty effective for us.
Fabulous.
So we were a finalist in 2015. So this pretty much marks the second year anniversary of when we joined, when we left the campaign. And obviously lots and lots has changed. What's very interesting upon reflection is that an idea that we kind of threw out in our final pitch, like as a hook, is what is, it was like a twinkle in the eye then, is now already a year old, which we now provide low-cost fire cover insurance to our households. The moment we got back to Johannesburg, well, Cape Town then, I'm now living in Johannesburg, the moment we got back, and obviously we had this investment from Chivas, we were able to build out the software side fully of our business, which is at the fundamental, which is the fundamental building block of insurance.
Yeah. First, what I got from Chivas, or what I took home. First, I got 26 really good friends all over the world. That's a fact. So we have an active WhatsApp group still that we developed last year, and it's still active. And I also had the possibility to visit some of the other candidates, and it's amazing to have them all and to see each other again. And second, we're quite early, so we had the opportunity with the money to build our next prototype, to have the first employees for us. That was one of the biggest steps, to really pay people for what they're doing. And yeah, so it really develops, the steps are quite big for us that we could do with the money that we won.
Well, I think for us, what was the most interesting thing that we got from the venture was the exposure. And I think, well, this is also my advice to you, that each one of you is the winner of his own country. And this is something huge for you when you come back at the end of this competition. And for us, for example, we were a very young company comparing to, especially for assistive technology. We developed a medical device for ALS patients. And once we came back as the Israeli winners, so it was, for us, it opened the gate for so many new opportunities from people who read about us at the newspaper as the winners of the local competition. Or, for example, we got to do in this year a clinical trial in Rambam Hospital, one of the leading hospitals in Israel. A very young company going into this clinical trial, and I'm sure part of it was part of the fact that we got exposure in the months of July, August because of the venture competition. And this is something you all have, and you could take advantage of it, as the winners of the local country. And during the last year, we developed the device, we did a clinical trial, we did another round of fundraising for the company, and hopefully by the end of the year, we will present EyeControl in the global conference of ALS and MND in Boston, which will be our next milestone. Yeah.
Okay, I think, like Julia said, one of the most important things is that you now have 26, in our case, I think it's 29 new phone numbers in your cell phones. And if you want to collaborate, or if you need an advice, it's just make a call or text WhatsApp. About Chivas, I think in our case, they give us the confidence to think about how big could be our company. And it's also for you. You are here because you have projects that already are changing the world, or you have a potential to change the world. And this is the most important thing, the exposure, because now in your countries, people have you in the map, know about your project, and now you need to make the best moves to take your project in another scale.
Oscar, you said that you had emails from how many countries around the world? Like you had 20,000 emails?
I don't know now. We got between, 28, 30,000 emails.
Amazing. From the videos and a lot of the press that came after
yes,
that.
It's more than 80 countries, and it's everything.
Wow.
It's social entrepreneurs like yours saying, we don't have money, but we want to replicate your model.
Right.
We want to make the same. So you can find big brands, multinational brands, saying, okay, we have this kind of problem with this kind of plastic in this country. Can you solve it? Everywhere.
Yeah. You'll all be there tonight, right? So if you have further questions, I know I'm speaking for all of you, but I know by your smiles, they're all willing to continue to answer questions. And I'm sure that the collaboration and the goodwill that's part of Chivas Venture goes year to year. So if one of these people can be valuable to you, it sounds like Oscar has 20,000 emails to sort through, so you might want to start with someone else. But be sure to reach out, and let's give them all a round of applause. Thank you so much.